Here's a run through of the 20-ounce tumbler animation. If you don't see a timeline at the bottom, the first thing we need to do is get that showing. So you go into Window, Timeline, and to get your design onto the tumbler, all you need to do is go to this Step 1 Smart Object. So you double click the thumbnail, and this gets you to this section which you're just passing through here. So you double click Step 2. And there's the design I've made. Now all you need to do is File, Place Embedded, locate wherever you keep your design files, and click Place. Once you've done that, you can throw away my layers into the waste paper basket or just turn them off. Only thing you need to do now is close. Sorry, let's do that again. All you need to do at this stage is resize it to fit however you want, and then just close this smart object. But the important thing is to remember to say yes here, so it saves your changes. And then close this pass-through section, say yes again, and then your design should show up. And if you want to preview, you can just use this blue scrubber here. If you don't see the whole timeline, there's a little icon, I don't know if you can see it here, a little tiny, I think it's mountains, not sure, but, and the big one to zoom in, zoom out until you see the full 10 seconds. Okay, if you're happy, all you need now to do is go to this burger menu, click render video. You should be able to go over all these defaults. All you really need to do is select where you want to save it and give it a file name, and then click render. That will take a few minutes depending on how fast your machine is. If you want to change the background, you can double click background and drop in your own by going File, Place Embedded. Or you can just drop it in. You don't have to drop it in the background. If you don't want it, you can just drop it in and replace this and throw that one away. But then you might come into issues where it doesn't show fully on the timeline, so if that's the case, just make sure it's stretched out all the way across, because often when you add a new layer, Photoshop only defaults to 5 seconds, so that's why I encourage you to put it in background. Other things you can do with this are you can change the color of the tumbler by going to the tumbler color here and double clicking color overlay. Change that to whatever color you want. Reflections, it's defaulting to matte, but if you double click reflections, there's a glossy version. If you really want to fiddle around, you can change this, turn this on and off. That gives a little extra shading to your design, but it's optional. And you could also dial it down with the opacity if you want. Same goes for reflections. Shadow there is optional. I think that's everything.